welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Shereen and I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. In today's video, I want to share with you how I reset my life routine to be more productive and to kind of get back on track when I have fallen off track and not quite sticking to my routine and everything that I would like to accomplish in one day. I find myself in this position at least a few times a year because I'm such a planner, and I have everything blocked on my calendar, like my morning routine. I have a morning routine, an evening routine, a cooking schedule. Like I do all of that because I like for my days to be super productive. When I have a productive day, of course, we all want that. You feel so much better at the end of the day. You feel like you can go to bed satisfied with your day and you wake up super excited to do better the next day. And that's my goal every single day. But every once in a while, my brain wanders off to places I don't want it wandering there. And that is when I feel bored of like my normal daily routine. Is my life really going somewhere? And then like those thoughts start to take over my brain and I feel like I can't really get to what I need to get to on my calendar. Like I can't work out. And when I do work out, I feel so exhausted so quickly. And when I do that, I feel like I don't want to cook today. Or some days I start to skip my workout and I'm like, okay, Shereen, at least just cook today. And if I cook, I'm so behind on my cooking, like I'm not as fast or prepared or organized as usual. So it takes me forever to get out of the kitchen, and then it's hard for me to like go like wash my face at night or do my night routine. And life just feels like it's all over the place. So when that happens, I have a few things that I like to do, and I like to think of it as like resetting my routines or resetting my lifestyle. So the first thing to do, or the first thing that I have to do, is to acknowledge the fact that I'm all over the place. And this usually takes me a couple of days to a couple of weeks for me to realize, oh my God, why do I feel like that? Did I miss this many workouts? Why can't I seem to cook like as fast or as organized as I usually do? Or why is my like dresser looking so messy? Like those are all indications that I am all over the place and I'm not focused and I'm not organized in my life. And I think the problem with acknowledging that is that we don't want to feel like failures. We don't want to feel like, oh, we are doing so bad in life. But what I want to say is like, it's totally fine. At least for me, I know my brain wanders off a lot and I know that it's okay to fall off the wagon. I think it's totally normal and totally fine. The most important thing is to acknowledge that it happened. Give yourself permission to like have a chance to make it up. You know, it's just as simple as that. Okay, so step one is acknowledge, don't feel bad about it, and decide to do something about it. Step number two is to give yourself the time to do something about it. Okay, so acknowledging it and wanting to do something about it is one thing, but actually making the time to accomplish that is a completely different story. So for me, when I want to reset things in my life, I want to do it all at once. I just want to take like one day, do what I need to do in that one day so that the next morning when I wake up, everything is in place. Like I want to look around, I want to see everything in place. I want to feel like a clean person, a fresh person, so that I can work out and just get back into it. So taking one day to do that requires a few things. One, I don't want anybody in the house. I don't want my husband in the house, my kids, nobody's home to distract me. I just need to stay focused, play some music, and get the things done that I need to get done to feel refreshed. So I literally took a day and I did everything in that one day and I filmed so much of it for you. So I always start my day with making my bed because to me that's like a must for so many reasons. I don't want to get into it in this video. And it's not just my bed that I like to make. I actually make all of our beds in the morning every day just because I like how the rooms look once it's nice and tidy. I also wanted to have like a tidy house by the end of this productive day, and that means I went through from one room to another and just straightened things up. I did not do like the deep cleaning that I would usually do when I say I cleaned my house, like I didn't dust or vacuum or anything like that. But I did go from one room to another, putting things back where they belong, like the remote TV where it's supposed to go, and just folding blankets and putting stuff, like my notebook was out, I put my notebook away and stuff like that. Because by the time this day was done, I wanted to look around and I wanted to see that everything was in place. Number 3 on my list was to deep clean areas that I use on daily basis. Like those are areas that I use at least once or twice a day, and I just need them to be nice looking. Like, I need to be able to reach everything easily, and just being there just feels good. I had a few areas in my house that I identified as the areas that like frustrate me the most, and one of them was like my makeup table area. It was getting so messy. Like, I don't know what happened there, but things were just like all over the place. And I tend to do that when I'm not quite on track. Like, if I use something from my hair drawer, or if I do my nails or something, I tend to pile everything up on my makeup table and not quite put things back where they belong. And what that does is it discourages me from doing my morning and my evening routine. So there's so many evenings that I want to go put on my cream, do this, and then I look at my table and it looks like such a hot mess, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go to bed. So my makeup table was a huge organizing area that needed to get done, and so that's one of the things I did on the day I reserved. The other area aside from my makeup table was my kitchen. There's a few areas in my kitchen that I wanted to organize because I like to cook basically every day. I really enjoy cooking, and I want to offer like homemade meals for my family, and I do a really good job at executing meals every day once I'm organized. But when I'm not organized, I find it so much harder to do that. And two areas in my kitchen that were really a struggle for me was my pantry, because my pantry is so tiny. Like, my entire kitchen has very little cabinet and counter space. If I'm just trying to make rice really quick and I have to like dig for the rice in my pantry, it's like, oh, why am I even in the kitchen? Why am I even making rice? Like, can we just order food? Like, it frustrates me. So getting to my pantry and organizing my pantry was really, really important for me. So I did that. And then the other area in my kitchen that was giving me the same feeling was my freezer. My freezer gets so messy so quickly, and sometimes I'll like cook something when I've already had it cooked in the freezer. Like, I could have used what I have in the freezer, but I just went through the trouble of cooking it again, and later I find out, and it makes me so mad because I remember when I was cooking it, I could have done something else. Like, for you, it could be different areas that you identify around your house that cause you those moments of stress that just make you not want to complete your task. Number 4 on my list is I really need my house to smell good. Okay, like, but for me it's the visual. Like, I want to look at my bed and my bed is made, and I want to do my makeup and my table is clean, but I also want my house to smell good. You guys know the feeling of like when you go to the mall or when you go to Sephora or Macy's or something, and it smells so good in those stores, and you just start to walk around, because I think what draws me into these stores is how they smell. And then you start walking around and you end up buying a thing or two just because it's actually kind of nice being in those stores, right? So for me, I want to get the same feeling in my house. Whenever I'm in my house, in any of the rooms, I actually want it to smell good. And for me, a huge winner here would be the Wallflower from Bath & Body Works. And of course, their scented candles are always amazing, so I have some of those. I will link some of my favorite scents in the description box below. So I went to every room and made sure the Wallflower was replaced with a fresh scent. So within just like 30-40 minutes, my entire house smelled so good. Now that everything around me was so clean and so fresh and it smelled good, it was time to take care of me. I wanted to feel that way. I wanted to feel clean. I wanted to smell good. I wanted to take care of myself. So I had actually blocked like an hour during that one day that I took to do some self-care for myself. So I took a nice shower and I came out and I wore something comfy because I wanted to stay cozy and comfortable. And I did some self-care stuff that I that I haven't done in a while. Let's just say that. And one thing was like really like on my nerves is my toes. You guys, I haven't had a pedicure since I was in Egypt in December. I was wearing the same polish since then. My nails had outgrown. I'm sorry if that's like TMI or disgusting, but like every time I looked down at my feet, I was like, oh, I need to do that. I need to do it. It was like every time I looked at my feet, which is quite often, there was a reminder of me being behind on something. That was another trigger. It was bothering me. It was so much for me to handle every time I looked at my feet. And I know it might seem silly to some people, but my toes are a big deal to me. And when I look down at my toes and I see that they have been neglected for like 2 months, it makes me like immediately think, what the heck are you doing? Like, what is wrong with you? You know? So one thing I did right when I got out of the shower and got dressed is I removed my nail polish from my 2-month-old pedicure. I clipped my nails, I lotioned my feet really good, I put on some socks, and that immediately made me feel better. And it only took like, it was like a 5-10 minute job, which I could have done anytime, but it made a huge significant difference in how I felt about myself. The fifth thing that I did that day was take care of some mail and returns. I hate doing returns so much. Just thinking about it, it feels so good to not have any returns right now. But I feel like I always have something that needs to be returned. You know, I hope I don't come off like as a bad person by saying that. But it always feels like I have something I need to mail. I have to go to the UPS store. I have to package this. I have to print this mailing label. So I had like at least 4 or 5 things that I needed to return. And so I got all that processed, I printed the labels, I put them in my car, I drove to UPS and I dropped them off, and that was like off my plate. I had a few things in the mail that I needed to go through. I had like one bill to pay, so I did that. So I felt good in that area too after completing all of the above. Last but certainly not least, which I think is the something that we all can relate to and we must do during this process of resetting our routine. And that is revisiting my routine and adjusting it to the new me. Now, at that point, I am a new person. And that's what I like to think. I am not the same person that can work out for 40 minutes a day and can also cook and can also do this. Like that, when I'm at that level of doing all these things and doing it successfully and having a productive day, I am at my best. Right now, when I'm in that process of resetting routines, I am not at my best. And I know that, and I acknowledge that, and that's okay. So what I did is I got on my computer and I went through my calendar, which has all my routines and everything written down, and I looked for things that I could eliminate from my routine so that I can make it easier for myself to jump back into it. One of the things I adjusted is that I went back to a 30-minute workout schedule because I was working out for 30 minutes a day for a really long time, and that went really well for me. And one of the things that kind of like threw me off when I felt like I wasn't on track is that I started to add 10 or 15 minutes extra to my workout, and just adding those 10-15 minutes to my workout made me feel like I'm falling so much behind in my morning, and that carried through to my afternoon and carried through to my evening. Even though it's only 10-15 minutes, but it did make that difference for me. So when I went through my routines, I reconsidered that. I said, okay, you know what? 30 minutes of workout a day is really good. It's really good. I don't have to push myself for more, so let's just bring it back to 30 minutes. We don't have to make it 40-45 minutes. Another thing that I had on my morning routine is that I always do one load of laundry every morning. Within, like, my morning routine includes one load of laundry because I hate doing laundry so much. And it just feels really good to get it out of the way early on. But then this is the thing though, if I do a load of laundry every single day, there is a day where like I don't have any laundry. Like we're not the kind of family that produces enough laundry for one load a day. Does that make sense? So before falling off the wagon, I used to be like, well, I have to find something to wash because I promised I would do one load of laundry every day. And I would literally like walk around the house and like wash the bathroom mats or wash like a blanket or whatever when it doesn't need to be washed. So I acknowledged that when I was revisiting my routine. And what I did is I adjusted my routine where twice a week I give myself that off. So now I know that on Tuesdays and Thursdays I don't have to do laundry. And I literally give that time to myself. I'm like, okay, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, when it's laundry time, just like sit down and go through your phone or have a cup of coffee or something. And that made me feel good because now I know that like my schedule is lighter, my routines include less things. And as I get back to my normal self and my normal things of like my daily routine, I can slowly bring things back in. That's no problem. Like I know I can handle more, but right now I want to handle the things that are most important to me. And those are the things that I kept on my routine and on my calendar. I did all this about 2 weeks ago, and I have to say, like, I felt better the next day. Like the next day, I woke up and I felt better. I had a good workout. I ate good throughout the day. Everything went really well. And it's amazing what one day of resetting your routine can do to you. But I really do think that the most important thing here is to realize what you can handle and what you can't, and be honest with yourself and set up your goals and your schedule based on that. That's it for today's video, you guys. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Please like and comment down below. Let me know if you do fall in the same cycle, and if you do, what do you do to reset that cycle for yourself? I would love to learn something from you, maybe something I haven't thought of or haven't talked about in this video. I would love to hear that. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos. I would love to have you a part of my YouTube family. Thank you again for your time. I'll say bye for now, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.